Hey, Christy Birchfield here. Today we're looking at Genesis chapter 37. This is a very pivotal chapter in the book of Genesis because here we start the story of Joseph. Joseph is a hugely important character throughout the entire Old Testament, and we learn kind of his starting point in this chapter today. What we find out is that a big piece of what sort of shaped him is the issues of favoritism and jealousy. You see, Joseph was the favorite son of all of Jacob's sons. And part of that is because he was the firstborn son from Jacob's favorite wife. So we have favoritism coming in a couple of different ways here. Well, Joseph ended up having dreams and visions. God gave him an advanced look into some things that were going to happen in his life later. He didn't understand what those meant, and neither did his family. But it created a sense of jealousy, and his brothers hated him. When you couple the idea that he was already the favorite along with this idea that he's going to lord it over people at some point, you have the idea that just really breeds jealousy. Those two things coupled together made for a very uncomfortable and unpleasant childhood for Joseph. He ultimately ended up being sold into slavery, as we see at the very end of this chapter. Here's the thing that we have to remember. Joseph couldn't control the way his father saw him and treated him. Now, he could control the way he acted as a result of that. Joseph also couldn't control the way his brothers interacted with him. Again, Joseph was able to control the way he responded to them. We're in similar situations. We may have difficult things happening to us, and there may be circumstances and situations that aren't great and that we don't enjoy. But we have to make sure that we are understanding and managing what we can control in those circumstances and not getting tied up with the things that we can't control. As we look through the rest of this book, as we follow the story of Joseph through pretty much the end of the book of Genesis, we're going to be really focusing in on what are the ways in which Joseph continued to glorify God, even in the midst of his circumstances. It's a great look, and his whole life story is a great life lesson. We'll look forward to his new beginnings as we go through this chapter. Thanks.